Yes, yes. My girl, and say, this is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney one. My girl, and say, this is.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I really, really think. I think they are trying to set us up. There ain't no pandemic. No. There ain't no COVID-19 or 20 or 25 or whatever they want to call it. They trying to keep us inside. They trying to keep us down. They trying to control us like cattle. That's what I believe, girl. That's what I believe. Listen, I ain't wearing no mask. Shoot, I ain't using none of those, even the gloves and all of this kind of stuff. Not me. I don't have to. Oh, you use the gloves. You use the gel, the hand sanitizer and stuff. Well, let them control you. Because I don't think so. Let them control you. Huh? Well, I don't know. I gotta go anyway. My show is coming on. My favorite show. I love this girl. She's too much for me. She's too much. Well, I gotta go. Come on, you still talking? Come on, you still talking? Okay. All right. Well, send me some gels if you think I need it. Send me the gloves too if you think I need it. A mask, all of it. I got to go. My girl is on. Liza, Leaky, Lila, Lakita, Karapa, whatever her name is. No, it's Lisa. Bye. It's the because this is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in a kidney world. How y'all doing? Happy Sunday to you and happy Labor Day on tomorrow. Nice long weekend. How about that? That's what I'm talking about. I like it nice and long, the weekend. You know what I mean? The rest, the fun, the family, the whole bit, the quiet, whatever. You know what I mean? Even the getting to go somewhere probably. Now I'm staying and I got to work hard next week. But I am glad to see you, glad to talk to you, and I have a wonderful guest for you tonight. So I want y'all to show him some love. I'm going to introduce him. That's right. Okay. This guy is a Sydney board member. Okay. He's a powerhouse. He's a protector. He's an advocate. All right, for people with disabilities. He's a disabilities right activist. He's the president and founder of the United for Equal Access New York. Yes, he is. That's right. And he does so much more. He's a survivor. He's an amputee survivor, okay? So I want you to give him some love, show him some love, how the Lisa Baxter Show do it. And I'm going to introduce to you Dustin Jones. Welcome to the...
Oh man,
how are you?
Hey, how you doing? Oh my God, I can't wait to see this guest today. Oh my God, that introduction was so great. I can't wait till he gets on.
You living up to all of that.
Oh
come
man,
on.
It can't be me. It cannot be me. I can't wait to meet this hunk of a guy.
Wow, no, you true to what you live in. You're true to what you live in. I'm very proud of you, and I'm so happy to have you on the show. I am very proud of that.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. It's long overdue. You know, for people who don't know, we've been planning this for about a year now, and we finally made it happen.
Woohoo! That's right.
Yes,
and they're going to be so honored to hear what you got to say. Now, tell us a little bit about the work you do as your program that you talked about.
Yes.
United. United.
So, pretty much, I am president and founder of United for Equal Access New York, and I'm pretty much just trying to fight for people with disabilities who don't have access to simple things, mostly in transportation, but whether it be like equal opportunity for housing, equal opportunity for work. I feel like people with disabilities are overlooked and we're not really tapped into the way we should be. So I'm really here to just try to make an impact and to show that we're here and to make sure that people like myself get a fair shot in the world, primarily in New York for right now.
So this can travel to something else, to something bigger, you believe?
I mean, I believe it can. I mean, I have a really good following at Twitter, and I got people from all over the U.S. I got a little bit of people following me from the UK, and I try to talk to everybody, and they tell me things that are going on where they are, and I've really gotten to got to get a better understanding about what accessibility really is outside of New York. I've been to California. I've seen what they're doing over there, and what we should be doing to copy them, and vice versa. But it's a long road.
Wow. Well, what are they doing over there in California?
Well, one thing is, in California, I went there in 2018. Not bragging, but I got a Hall of Fame award. So I
Oh,
was flown down there, and I was given a tour of the and I'm going to say it slowly because I keep saying Bart Simpson, the Bart system. I'm a
uh-huh.
big Simpsons fan, but the BART system. Um, and what they have that we don't have is they have 100% accessibility in their subway. And New York has been trying to get there. I feel like they're not doing as much as they should be doing. So when I was there for 3 days, and I thought it was really good because I became an amputee in 2011, and I really didn't expect my life to change as much as it did when it comes to transportation. So for the first time, literally since then, I was actually riding like a regular person, and it didn't matter what happens. The next station was always available for me to get to, and I really appreciate that. Um, their problem is maintenance. They don't have a really robust maintenance program like we do here in New York, but they have 100% accessibility. And I feel like that's what's really important. And, that's where we need to get to in New York.
100 accessibility.
We need 100%
Is that what
accessibility.
you say?
Yeah, we need
Oh,
100%
100%.
accessibility
Oh,
because they have
oh,
100%
okay.
in San Francisco. Their whole system is 100%
Wow.
accessible. So it doesn't matter where I go, I can get on and off the train as I feel. Versus, as I told you prior, coming home today, I have to pass my station about a mile away because it's not accessible, and then jump on a bus and then come back that same mile just to get home. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You know, okay, that's rough. Now, when you had started your program that you're the president over, your Access of New York program, Equal Access, what made you do that? What prompted you to do that?
It was 2015, and I was working on a project, and we were talking about Uber, and we were talking about how at the time Uber had all these vehicles running around in New York City, and not one of them was accessible. And we tried our best to have conversations with Uber, and we let them know that any transportation company that's operating in New York City must follow the rules when it comes to having accessible vehicles. They argued with us, and they said that they was not a transportation company. They said that they was a tech company. My response to them was Sony or Microsoft doesn't give me any rides around, so I don't know what makes them any difference. But after seeing the back and forth that was going on, I decided that we needed more representation because I feel like at the time I wasn't really being heard as an individual, and I felt like this would be a good idea to have a platform for people like me who I believe is very talented and need to be heard, and we could just have something else brought to the table that can really focus on fresh ideas like this.
Wow. Wow. Well, when I know you to be with Sydney on their
Yes,
board. You're a board member for Sydney Center for the
yes.
Independent People of Disabilities of New York. I can never hardly get that all the way out.
Center of the Independence of the Disabled New York. Yes,
Thank you. Whew. Okay, I just say Sydney, but I know they might not know what I'm talking about.
yes.
And I met you there, and when I did meet you there, we were going to what upstate to talk
Albany.
to yeah, Albany, to talk to them about people with disabilities and the different things that we all dealt with, and because we all had different types of disabilities, and we went down there. Tell me something about that, or talk a little bit about that process of doing that, or have you.
Well, I mean, I love being with Sydney. I've been with Sydney 5 years now. I call it a birthday gift. I was hired there. I was literally hired there like 2 weeks before my birthday in 2015. So I was very happy to be a part of that team. I still am. And we do a lot of robust work trying to bring awareness for people with disabilities and different issues. So we like to go there a couple times of the year. I'll say between January and April, the latest, and we just try to talk to these legislators about different ideas and different things that we believe they should be focusing on. So if there's like any bills happening that we feel like is not being paid attention to, like housing, a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of people with disabilities who are suffering from homelessness. New York is a very expensive place to live. Most people with disabilities don't have employment, and to top it off, with housing being so high, it's like it's just another barrier put in front of us. So we just try to support different things that can help make that barrier either a little bit low, or if we can just smash it down altogether so we could live better.
Wow, wow. What I liked about that process, it took all day. So we had to have
Yes.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. We had to
Yes.
take the drive up there, meet up there, have the accessory ride to get everybody home at the same time.
it's
I love that.
literally all day. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's literally all
it
day.
took
I
the whole day. It was a great experience. I never forgot it. I still got the pictures, the film, and everything. And I wanted to do it more often. I just wasn't able to. Because my accessibility of with from the cane to the walker and everything, it was a little rough. Now you deal with a wheelchair, so I know that's a challenge for you.
we tell everybody it's a lot of walking. We warn you because I mean,
You
all
wonder, yes,
day
you did.
long we're on our
I
feet or
know.
we're on our wheels, so we're constantly pushing. I'm somewhat used to it. It's actually one of my favorite things to do throughout the year.
Yeah.
Um, Unfortunately, I was not able to go this year at all because of medical issues and COVID.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Very
so
yeah.
our very first trip that we had this year, that same day I was undergoing 4 surgeries, and then the very next week they were going again, and I was still recovering. So by the time my recovery was over and I was cleared to go, and COVID happened. So here
Yeah,
we are.
that's another thing. Yeah, yeah, please. I was just doing a PKD virtual walk because COVID happened. I usually go to all the different walks, the cancer walks, colon cancer, the kidney walks, and now you have to do a virtual and do the best you can. Now,
There's so many great things that was happening this year, with the ADA turning 30 years old, some stuff that I was doing. I'm not going to really say it just in case if there's a way we could salvage it, but there was just so much beautiful things going on around the city. And, I feel like we just got robbed, but hopefully, we'll be back, hopefully 2021.
yeah, it'll get back. It'll come back some sort of way, some kind of way. I guess the new normal, the newer normal. But
Yeah.
tell us Uh, tell us a little bit about you. I know you are an amputee warrior hero. So tell us a little bit about that experience
I
with
don't
you
know about the
dealing with
warrior
this.
hero part, but yes, I am an amputee. Nah. Ooh, it's man. So pretty much it's a situation that happened to me in 2011. Wasn't a good year for me at all. Um I had a cut underneath my foot. I had stepped on glass, and I had chose to do the guy thing, as I like to say. It's okay, and I just wrapped it once, and Didn't really pay too much attention to it. Of course, it got swollen and it got infected. So I went to the emergency room and they told me, we're gonna debride the foot, which means that they're gonna go inside the wound and they're gonna clean it out. And it was supposed to be a routine surgery. And then, somewhere down the line, I got a doctor who, I don't know, like he was brand new or something. He didn't know what he was doing. Instead of doing exactly what he was supposed to do, he cuts another extremely long, um, not hole, but an incision right on my foot, underneath my foot, next to the same cut that I already had. He took out some of the infection, and then he left both wounds open. And he said it was supposed to heal from the outside in. About 2 weeks later, my foot was like a closed fist. It was really dark. It was almost looking like it was purple. My bones was like you could feel the softness in them. It got to the point where, as I'm touching each toe, they were just like caving in, like a building imploding. And I decided, like, something is wrong. I got to go to the hospital, but I didn't feel like going to that one because I'm like, they definitely did something wrong. I um I literally walked in because I never stopped walking, which probably wasn't a good thing. But I walked into a better hospital and for a foot evaluation, and they said to me, you know, it doesn't matter if I got the surgery there or wherever. They said you need to get yourself a lawyer. I had emergency surgery to try to save my foot. I believe that had I had the surgery there originally, it would have paid off, but they did everything that they could. They tried twice. And then, of course, amputation happened.
So that I'm sure. What did you have? Were you diabetic, or it was just because it was a sore that was
No, I
un?
was I was in great shape, no diabetes. It was just so happened that it was negligence by the doctor. He didn't do what he had to do, and because of that, the infection just did what it. I mean, I say infection. I mean, I had almost everything, and thank God I'm still alive because I mean, I had MRSA, I had E. coli. I wasn't even sure that humans could even get that. I thought that was just something you find in meat. I had every type of bacteria you could think of. So to survive that and to be able to come back from it was really miraculous.
Wow, wow. Well, you okay? Once they told you, that, were you able to sue the other hospital
I
for
was.
this? Oh, good, good. Because I know they always say, "Oh, Lisa, they make mistakes and stuff like that." Because I had some bad issues happening to me with some hospitals too, and I
Hmm.
mean, they only did is drag mine out, and I didn't get to sue and everything, and I was truly poisoned by a doctor, almost died, organs were shutting down, all kind of stuff. I've been
Oh
through
wow.
hell and back. Like you, I'm
Mm.
glad I'm alive and I'm surprised and happy. I really thought I was gonna die before my husband. I hated to see him go, and I not that I
Mm.
wanted to go either, but my thing to you is that yes, I still call you warrior and survivor because that is not an easy thing. When they told you that they couldn't save your foot, what was your first reaction or feeling, if you don't mind sharing that with us? Because you got
Oh
empathy
man.
and dial people looking.
Ah man. So I was thinking a lot of negative things, things I shouldn't have been worried about, like oh my God, there goes my sex life. There goes my love life. Was one of the few things I was thinking about because I was only like 24 when this happened. So I'm thinking, oh my God, nobody's gonna want me anymore. But then, I started to get really depressed, and I fell into a very very bad depression. I thought my life was over. I stopped working out. I stopped doing everything that I was supposed to be doing. I gave up on school. I was in college at the time. I decided to just drop out. I didn't want to be seen by anybody. It took a while for me to like really get out of that funk and believe in myself and believe that I can survive this. And one of it was actually a lady, and I always like to tell this story, and I'm going to tell it now too because we're living in a time right now where as they say, there's a lot of unrest between, people in different cultures and whites and blacks and whatever. But I was in therapy at the hospital, and I was, of course, the youngest one there, and everybody else had their situations that they were going through, mainly because of either old age or diabetes and whatnot. And I met this Orthodox Jewish lady, and it was really weird for me because, in my mind, a lot of people, don't in that community don't speak to anybody outside of their community. But she came up to me and she was like, you're such an inspiration, and watching you work is really motivating me. And I was like, wow, because if she knew what I was thinking mentally, I was just thinking about giving up. And we kind of made like a friendship there. And it got to the point where she would come and she would visit me in my room, and then I would go and we would have our lunch together. And all of the nurses, they just could not believe that this little, black kid with tattoos and whatnot was friends with this little old lady who was an Orthodox Jewish person. But we got along famously. And
Yeah.
I really appreciated her because she was that main one to really remind me of just like who the hell I was and what I wanted to be. So
Yeah.
every time I tried to push forward, I kept thinking about her. We lost contact once we left the hospital, but I always think about that lady. I forget her name, unfortunately, but she was such a sweetheart, and she was the one who really initially motivated me to just get my crap together.
Wow. I love that kind of thing. I love the kind of thing when they give you when God give you somebody that's in your corner, or somebody that don't even know you but can see the good in you,
And you
can
would
see
never
the
even expect.
potential.
Yeah, exactly,
Yes, because
exactly.
like you said, a lot of people do give up. Sometimes you do feel like putting the covers over your head. Don't want to hear another thing. Don't
I
want to
was
do
there.
another.
I was there.
Yeah, I,
And then for her,
I
I don't know what the hell she saw. Excuse me for cursing, but I'm thinking I'm ready to give up. And these nurses are in my ear. Come on, you're so powerful. You can do it. You can. I'm like, leave me alone. And for her to come up and tell me that, I'm like, what is she watching? Because this ain't that person. But it
no.
something sparked, and I'm like, you know what?
You know that you
It,
could have your own company. Became a president. You became a person, a leader. An advocate, a protector, somebody that would for the people. For not just transportation, but people with disabilities, people that's hurting or dealing with issues. That takes a lot of power and gumption, and it
it
take an
one
unction to function, and you functioning.
one of my dreams, believe it or not, was I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of people think of the success that I have now, and they feel like I was such a great student. I really wasn't. I was not a great student coming up at all. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I was. And at one point, I was thinking about joining the military, and I was gonna join my sister because she was in the Marines, and I thought about doing it. And then I decided not to, and I decided to go to school. And one of the things I really wanted to do was I wanted to become a police officer for the NYPD. That is exactly what
Yeah.
I was preparing to do prior to all of this. So, helping people is always something I always wanted to do. And advocacy was not. And it wasn't until the person who got me into it, her name is Jean Ryan, she was
Mhm.
like, asking me like, well, what did you want to do with yourself, before all of this happened? I'm like, I wanted to become a police officer. And she was like, why? To help
Yeah.
people, you know? So she was like, well, with advocacy, you're helping people, and there's a lot of crooked people that you'll be helping taking down, and you'll be helping people who probably can't help themselves for the most part. And that's when I'm like,
Yes.
holy crap, she's right.
Yes. Wow.
And it really
Well,
makes me
Justin, you
feel like that person.
how to walk again per se,
I'm sorry.
and you had to learn how to get around like that. I said you had to learn how to deal with, I guess, standing or walking. I don't know if they gave you a prosthetic foot
Yeah.
or
So
leg or what you
standing,
call it.
standing was never really a problem for me. It was just the walking. So yeah. So now I
Okay.
walk as long as I'm wearing my brace,
Yeah.
I can walk. So, and unlike a lot of
Excellent.
people, I don't have like the average amputee. It's called a Symes Boyd. So pretty much I don't have the toes,
Uh-huh.
and I don't have the majority of my foot.
Yeah.
So I have my heel and my
Oh,
ankle and everything up. So what they did was they took my heel
Uh-huh.
and then they rotated it to make it as my stump,
Mm,
and then that's my
uh-huh.
stump, and then I just put my foot into like a filler into, and then that's the brace, and
Yeah.
then as I have that on, I could walk and do whatever.
That's great. Look at
Yeah,
that.
but it took
I
a
tell
while
you,
though. It took a while.
technology and prayers and medical stuff, that's beautiful. That's good. Now, if you let me see. All right.
Don't be shy.
If you had to talk to somebody that was about to give up, or that maybe had was amputee, or maybe somebody that wanted to start a company, what exactly would you or could you say to them? My head, if I'm the person in my head, my covers is on my head, I don't want to hear it, I'm upset, I'm crying buckets. What would you say to me?
I always tell people, I'm not bragging, but I would always use my story because, like I said, I wasn't the best student coming up. Advocacy was not something I wanted to do. I at the time I would have never imagined any of this, happening. I never dreamed of, being a board member of anywhere, yet alone having my own business and whatnot. But I would just use my story and say, you know what, I was there, and you know, there's no reason why you can't be there. There's no reason why you have to give up on yourself because I feel like this is a second chance at life. People would always tell me, do you think you took walking for granted or took life for granted prior to this? And I would always say no. But then, like 2 years into it, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I did. And maybe this was a sign for me to say, you know what? You were doing things differently and it wasn't really the right way. So let's try it this way. And with all of the blessings that I've gotten now, I feel like anybody, if they really just put their best foot forward and just take that step forward and wanting to improve what they're doing, they could definitely make something like what I'm doing happen, or possibly even more.
Wow. Well, you are a Hall of Famer. You are from your uh class action Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
I can't
Impact
hold it.
Fund for the Impact Fund Class Action Hall of Fame. Yes,
Right, right. What was that like? I'm sure you were happy to be a part of that. That's a big deal.
I was happy. I was shocked. I wasn't expecting it.
Hmm.
I don't do this for a thank you. I don't do this to expect
Right.
anything back. Well,
Mhm.
no, I'm lying. Excuse me, I'm lying. I do expect something back, and that's just to change, all of the things that, need to be changed. So
Yeah.
I want to see accessible subways. I want to see equal opportunities for jobs and education and work for people with disabilities. So that's what I want. But all of the accolations and the Hall of Fames. I mean, I care about it, but it was very surprising. It was humbling, especially to get it as quick as I did, because like I said, I only got into advocacy in 2013, and I got that award in 2018. And I know a lot of people who have been doing this much, much longer and who are much better than me at this, and they're not even there yet. So it all goes back to what I was saying before. If you put your best mind forward, you can do something, and anything can happen out of it.
Wow. Well, don't worry. It's like baking a pie, and somebody got to be the crust, and somebody got to be the filling, somebody got to be the sugar. So even
Well,
whether you started
you could
today,
be the baker.
hmm?
You could be the baker because I can't bake no pie.
Oh, I can cook, burn. I ain't mad at you. What would you give a shout out to if you can give a shout out, sweetie?
Pretty much I want to give a shout out to, like, Sydney, Center for the Independence of the Disabled, New York. Um, they've really made me feel like a rock star from the time I got hired there. Like they've really given me that platform to just really take off and do everything that I'm doing now. And my mom, I'm very glad that my mom is still around to see me and to see all the stuff that I'm doing, because like I said, I wasn't really the best person coming up as my teenage years. And pretty much just all the people that support me, whether it's Twitter, whether it's friends or whatnot, just thank you. And thank you for those who don't support me, because If you don't support me, it just makes me work harder. So
Give you that push and that boost. Well,
exactly.
I'm glad that we didn't forget anything, but I thank you for being that rock star, and I thank you for being that shining star, helping people with disabilities because all of us need it. I'm in that
Well,
game too, and I'm in that pot with you. So, and so many people
well,
that are doing is in the pot. So we do thank you for your time and your service.
well. Thank you. I just wanted to say too, like if anybody's out there and they want to, pretty much follow what I'm doing, I'm not a social media person, but I do Twitter. I'm very active there. You can find me at Equal Access NY2, the number two because I got locked out of my first one. And you could also find me at Sydney Center for the Independence of the Disabled, New York, or CIDNY, and we have all of the major platforms. What is it? Facebook and Instagram, all that stuff that kids use. We have that. So, but if you want me personally, where I'll talk to you or I can interact with you, it's definitely Twitter.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I ain't mad at you. You ain't never lied. Oh, you brought it. I needed you to bring it. You brought it all the way in. So thank you, and a million blessings, and keep doing what you're doing. You know I'm gonna be in touch.
Keep
You know what
doing
I
what you're doing because, like I said, you're the Hall of Famer. You're I love this show right now. I'm listening to like all of the stuff that was going on prior. I'm like this theme song. I'm like bopping my head to it. I'm like, I hope they can't see me because that'd be very embarrassing. But no, but you do amazing work, and I really want people to understand that. And all the people who support you, just keep on supporting you because I know you've been through a lot, and we've talked and whatnot. But to see what you're doing now is an amazing thing. And like I said, thank you for just having someone like me, on the show because I ain't nobody special. So it makes me feel important that you would actually ask me to be here. So thank you.
well, you know you rock. I ain't mad at you. And thank your community, thank your mama. I ain't mad at her. And you have a great day and enjoy the holiday on tomorrow. Be careful and be safe.
Thank you, and everybody wash your hands, as they say, because like you said on that phone earlier, they ain't no COVID. I mean, we can. That's a different story, but
Yeah.
just be safe because the safer you are, the faster we can get back to life.
Think that, and you got people like that. So my skits are usually try to be funny, but they always have an educational point to it or something
Yeah.
that make you think. So I ain't mad at you again, and you have a great night. I'm about to end the show, Mr. Belcher, Nurse Belcher. Have an excellent show next at 9 o'clock. Cooking show, our first one. Woo! Yum 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 yum. So good night, Dustin, and thank you
Take care,
very much.
guys. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, guys, you have heard it from the man himself. So get ready, get your bibs on, get your pens and pencils out because the Chef O is going to do his thing. I can't wait. I'm going to tune in myself, so I'm going to get myself ready. Bless you, thank you, enjoy. Mwah.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah. This is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney world.